Shalom family. So this video is going to be a little bit different. It's just going to be me talking to you about some things, about some changes that are on the horizon, and give you a little bit more insight and just be a little bit transparent about a lot of different things, which, I don't usually talk about my personal self as much, but I guess I'll talk a little bit more than I usually do in today's video. So at the time that I'm recording this is in February, the very beginning. And it's being talked about, at least on my feed, maybe because I'm a YouTuber that I'm seeing it, but it's talking about so many different YouTubers quitting. Now, to be honest, I didn't really know any of the YouTubers except for, well, not know personally at all, but know of any of them except for one. And, when I saw the title, I could instantly understand. And before even seeing their videos, I can understand the thought. And know that, I, like many others, have been there. And so first, I want to talk about, I have many jobs, right? My job as a wife, as a mother, my job in my business, actually 2 of them. My job as a friend, being a friend to other people. I have many different things, my job as a homesteader or homeschooling my children. Taking care of the home as a homemaker. Those are my jobs. But YouTube is not my job. But at the same time, YouTube or social media wants to become your job. And they want to, first it started more as encouraging. But now I feel like things have changed to where it's kind of like forcing you to make it your job or to make it a top priority in your life. And as we know, you can only serve one master. And so social media has tried many times to creep up. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I did a social media fast. And it was a 40-day fast before. And when I did it, the enemy definitely tried to attack me through another YouTuber, making videos or about me, whatever. I'm not even going to go into that because who really cares? But social media definitely does try to compete and tries to make it the focus of your life. And so one thing I don't like is that YouTube recently changed their policy to where, from my understanding, is if within a 3-month time you don't upload 3 videos, you can lose your monetization status. So you can be kicked out of their YouTube partner program. And so I saw some videos of that happening to some people because they didn't upload a certain amount of videos. Like, they had to take a break or sabbatical, whatever. And then, now they had to reapply and now they're no longer getting any funds from their videos. Now, let me make this clear. A lot of times people think that YouTubers make lots of money, and that's not the truth for all YouTubers. Myself, YouTube is not like paying any bills around here. You actually need to have $100 before you can get a payout. And I can count on my hand, on one hand, the amount of, and I don't know how long I've been monetized now, how many times I've even gotten a payout in the same month. So that probably like maybe 2 times. So it usually takes me 2 months to be able to even get a check from them. And I'm not complaining, it is some money, not enough to do like an electric bill or anything like that, but it is something. So I'm not complaining about that. But the part about it that I don't like is the fact that feeling like I have to have a deadline or I need to post a certain amount. Things are changing for me, and just seeing that kind of woke me up to where I'm going to be my only boss and make those decisions for myself. So they just told me that I need to space my videos out so that I can take the break that I am going to be taking. So at the time that you see this, I don't know when I upload this. All of my videos do first go to my support playlist, which is on my website. I do have my videos where you can see my YouTube videos on there, but you can also see my videos before they're released. There's like 50 plus videos. So, I mean, months or even years before things even hit YouTube. But by the time I put this out, I'm thinking I'm going to put this out after I've given birth. So I don't really, talk about it. And I really kind of wanted to keep it under wraps, but then I like kind of blurted it out in one video. And I was like, when I said it, I was like, what are you doing? But so yeah, that's that. I am right now pregnant with my third. And because of that, I want to be able to rest the last 2 months. And then I want to be able to take 6 months off. So you guys have probably seen that I'm very consistent. Everything's scheduled and regimented. And I think that's a great thing, but it does lead to burnout. I don't think it's talked about enough about people that are introverts and how certain things can be harder when you're introverted. For instance, I found this out as a homeschooling mom, as a stay-at-home mom. I feel like for introverts, it can be very difficult because we value introspection, time to hear our own thoughts, time to be by ourselves is very important. And that's a part of our re-energizing process. And so when that's taken away from us, it can be very hard. So that's something I learned in that instance. But also social media is something that's very hard. Now, truthfully, I'm not a person who loves social media. I've made like, the Instagram, Facebook, but I don't like those platforms. I mean, I have a love-hate with YouTube, but I'm a person, I don't really like social media. Of course, there's good with it, but there's tons of bad. And so as an introverted person, when I show up, like I do lives or whatever, I don't get lots of support. And this is not me complaining. I'm just calling out what I see. I don't get a lot of support, a lot of questions or anything like that. And so for me, when you're putting out so if you become that motivator or that teacher or whatever, and you're pouring into other people, you don't have the motivation left for yourself because you've already gave here, and really maxed yourself out. So that's what I noticed is from making so many videos, which many of them now are privated. So my older videos like cooking or gardening or whatever, I privated a lot of those. And so I probably, though, including like my course videos and everything, I've made at least 1,000 videos, I'm sure of it. And so I feel like I'm at a point where I feel like it's enough. I've done enough. And the funny thing is, not only does the social media want to be your job, but I find that because it's a free platform, and there's so many different videos, so many different creators, a lot of times people feel really entitled to stuff. And specifically me, because I've got like 10 different freebies. Now I made a free ebook, which is like, why did I even do that? But it's just something that I did that I want to work on. And I've given so many different things free. I give so much free education that is nowhere else to be found on YouTube. Like if you're looking at actual herbalism content, the things that I talk about, like those are, you're not finding anything on African herbalism, not finding anything on clinical herbalism, working with clients, like very slim pickings. That's what's reserved in courses, but I give that stuff away for free. And what I've noticed is that people don't know when to stop. They want to go to my website or go to my email or get in my DMs and all this, asking for more free stuff. And so, again, all of that takes a toll on you. And I've even have people that manage my comments or manage my emails and all those different things. A lot of times people still think it's me. And I've, told them like, it's fine if people think that it's me. You don't need to say, I'm not her or whatever, because people just do it anyway. But even with that, it still is a lot, because sometimes they still reach out to me and they're like, oh, someone sent you this. Do you want me to do, should I do this? Or so, I still am aware of it. I still see, hundreds of people just gobbling up the free stuff. And when I see the list of people, what I notice is that there's people many times who downloaded the same download so many different times, which tells me they just are so accustomed to hopping on anything free that they don't value it, which is number one, which is when it really feels draining, is when you know that they're doing nothing with it. You know that it's wasted energy that you gave out. But they're not even paying attention to even register. Oh, I already downloaded that. And so it really starts to take a toll on you. For myself, I said 2023 was going to be the year of rest for me. I talked about it in some videos. I don't know which ones, like to name them, but I talked about how like the pandemic time was very hard for me. I lost my grandmother. My husband was laid off. It's very difficult. And it's been difficult. Like it's not necessarily letting up. It still is very difficult emotionally, mentally, all those different things. And I've always just been like a machine. As you see, I pump out videos every single week. Sometimes I put out more. There's a blog post that goes along with it every single week. I'm sending out different emails and different things like that. The posts that I do. And then not only that, on Instagram and Facebook, things go out. And then also I put some things on TikTok as well. And so all of that, that I guess the spark is kind of dwindling. While I love sharing, I feel like the bad side about sharing so much is they take it for granted. They don't value it. And when it's wasted, it doesn't feel good. And so anyway, what was the point that I was trying to make with that? It's just things are going to be changing. As I said, 2023 was supposed to be a year of rest for me. And then next thing you know, I released 2 books. I released Herbal Holistic Healing. And then I released Kiddie Kitchen Apothecary. And Kiddie Kitchen Apothecary is supposed to be an ebook. And so I've learned, okay, stop trying to make these free ebooks. I guess I did make a free ebook now. But that was the 3rd attempt of me making a free ebook and then having to stop myself. So I was like, okay, you're at 40 pages. Shouldn't be 40 pages. Okay, we're going to narrow it down. It's going to be 30 pages. And no more. So I have to reel it in. And I'm just that person that just always just over delivers. Even when I don't feel like it, no matter the things that are going on, I still show up. And so I feel like this pregnancy was God's way, was Yah's way of saying, I agree, you need to slow down. And so now I'm going to help you slow down. So I had to totally change my priorities to make sure that I'm able to take the time off that I need to have. And, a lot of times we say different things, but our actions don't always mirror it, myself included. Like I always say that my family is the most important thing, like that's the most important thing. But sometimes I might be working a little bit more on the work side when that time was supposed to be, like that time block is supposed to be for homeschooling, whatever, or, so I have to make sure that this section of my life goes down to where it needs to be. It doesn't need to be number one, the first thing I'm thinking about in the morning. That needs to be reserved for Yah, for Bible reading, study. My children, taking care of them needs to come first. And I was waking up like even sometimes 4:30 so that I could have time to, without rush, read the Bible, get myself dressed and everything, and work on my business, and work on all of this stuff. People don't understand that just because it's free for you to watch doesn't mean that it's free to create. That takes imagine how much time that I put into just the free videos that I have on YouTube. So I think when I was looking, it said 443 videos. That was public. So it's probably like 800 or something like that. That's private. 800 videos. How many minutes is that? I used to do longer videos, and some videos are a little bit longer, like if they're live streamers or whatever. But even if it's just 5 minutes, how long is that I've spent on here? And so it just, makes me think I have to prioritize. I'm one person. I have to prioritize. And I've done that in my business in certain ways. I used to do like one-on-ones. Then I went to like group. And now I decided, I don't necessarily need to show up on camera like this. I can, talk through things with the different students on the phone. But there's always been like 10 students that I can do at a time, and it's months because that's a lot of time to dedicate, and other things have to be more important. And so I'm transitioning, and I'm being forced to transition because I'm going to have less time and more responsibilities right now in my life. And so I really have to focus on those who have shown up for themselves. And showing up is not just, showing up to the video, but actually decided, okay, I'm serious about studying. So I'm going to get a book. So I'm going to go to a class or a course. I have to focus on those people, and some people will have to be left behind. And so some people are not going to be happy about my videos not being as frequent. And people are not going to be happy about some of my downloads no longer being free. And that's fine with me. Things have to change. I need to go into rest mode. And if I'm coming out of my rest mode, it has to be worth it. And it has to be a person that's going to be equally yoked, not draining my time, and not try to drain me and contribute nothing. So I know that doesn't sound nice, but I'm just giving a little bit of insight on why things are changing. And while we're in this video is already 16 minutes. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. The other part, other than just the mental, is the spiritual aspect. Now, the things that I've done, when I think about them, these are things that I would not have, like where I am or who I am as the 30-year-old Kiddie is very different than, what I remember at, 14, 15, whatever, or would have thought or imagined for myself. Yah distributes his talents, and he has given me, like literally when I'm saying this, he shows me the vision. He gives me everything that I need to say, the ideas, like everything just flows and comes easily and naturally for me. And that's just the way he's always favored me in that way. And I'm not trying to say that in a negative way. And so I'm very appreciative of it. And it's very humbling and mind-blowing to me. I would have never thought that I'm doing any of the things that I'm doing. And all of it is because one day he put the name Her Healthy Home in my head. And I went and said, that sounds like a YouTube channel. I'm going to do it. And I had thought about doing it. And I actually had a YouTube channel years ago. My eyes are kind of, I don't know if you guys can see that. But it makes me emotional. But I actually had a channel way back when. And I used to talk about more like political, more about current events, and more about like economics and all these different things. I would share different books that I was reading about health, like all of it centered around like Black issues and things like that. We got so many people saying all kinds of negative things about me, to me, messages, even about my children before they were in here. So when I did get pregnant, I was like, okay, I gotta go. I gotta go. People are already wishing death or whatever upon this child. I gotta go. So I had my 2 children. I came back, started sharing more things because the Father gave me, he gave me the name. He didn't really give me too much other instruction, but I just started showing up. I just started sharing. Then next, my first book came out, and then the books just keep going. Things are growing. Things are happening. I made the Master in the Womb course, started talking more about the womb. Now, let me say something else. I've been a person who like never was sick. Like it would be like 7 years or something before I got sick. I never had like the flu or anything. And so oddly though, once I come on YouTube and I start sharing sickness all the time in in the house. Not, not even just myself, but my children. Okay. And it's nothing like I know how to deal with it or whatever. But I do know if I was just, living my life, minding my own business, just, reading the Bible and just staying to what my job is. If I just stayed to that part of my job, but didn't go out and do his purpose for the rest of the world, like his ministry work, I definitely think everything would just be, and I thought about it all the time, just go back to that, like to my boring life, nothing going on, nothing happening. But since I started, it's just been nothing but things thrown at me. I even got like food poisoning one time that's never happened to me. So all of it was just really weird. And it's always about what I'm talking about. So like the food poison happened like when I was doing like my colon clean out, detoxing the body safely, like talking more about that. When I start talking about the immune health, my virus proof your health, then that's when maybe COVID or whatever came. So when I started talking about mastering the womb, right? And helping women, that battle with, fertility or hormonal issues for years and years and years, like I had, then that's an area where a dart was thrown at me, not once, but twice. So I have this child now in my belly, which I'm so grateful for. And there was a time when I thought, maybe I'm not going to have more children, because I had not one, but 2 miscarriages back to back. And like I said, it's supposed to be a year of rest. That probably happened like within a year or a little bit, like maybe a couple more months, maybe like, definitely in 18 months, those 2 happened. And, that was a struggle spiritually. And this happens to where sometimes I'm upset with Yah, and I talk to him, like he's our friend. And I ask him truthfully, the hard questions. And I find that he's often also, which is a problem and something I worked on, but he's often where I want to place blame, like you did this, or why are you doing this to me? Or, and so I went there, and so it's hard. But when those 2 things happen, it wasn't enough to make me take rest. I still was creating content and still doing everything. And I did take, some time to breathe, but, I didn't take a break. And so this, seasons happen in life for a reason. And I feel like I need to take rest. I need to look at my priorities and reconfigure them. I need to make sure my life reflects what it is that I say that I want and need. And so this year, I've really had to put, different boundaries in place. I've had to do different things, and, just make sure everybody doesn't have access to everything or every part. So yeah, that's where I'm at. People don't realize, what goes on behind the scenes. And like I said, everything just seems like it's free. That's the illusion of like social media and everything, that everything is free or everything should be free, but someone's paying the price. So while you saw the video and you're like, oh, thank you for that tip, or whatever, that little nugget. And for you, it was just, oh, that's something, oh, that's cool, or whatever. For me, there was a price. And I know very, I truly believe if I was just to go back to, just to go back to how things were, things would really change. I wouldn't be under so much attack. So people, just realize what it takes to create the content. That's what all of this was to say. There is a price to creating free content. Unfortunately, I don't think I have much more. I don't think I have enough to pay to continue for too much longer. So the frequency will change, and you may not see me for a while, but you guys will know where I am. There's tons of posts, there's tons of videos, links in the description about all the different things and all the different places to reach me. So if you want to explore further, you can do that. Or you can just go through the archives and enjoy and soak up all of that. All right. So I think rant done. That's enough. I wanted to be able to share those things with you. And also maybe to give hope to someone. Like if you had the back-to-back miscarriages, that there still is hope. Because I remember feeling, even though I have, two children, to feel like you can't. And I think that also I was supposed to feel that for the women that I'm working with and help them to be able to not only sympathize with them, but also to empathize with them, to feel like it's not your choice that you may not be able to have more children is a really hurtful feeling. And so, not saying that wasn't what was supposed to happen, because what is supposed to happen will happen. If it's in the Father's will, it will be done. But I want to just encourage someone as well that maybe you heard my story about 10 plus years of the absent periods and all those different struggles, and how the Father turned that around for me in a month. And then also how there is more. There is more. Also, when I said rant over, and I guess rant started, when I created Herbal Holistic Healing, or when he gave me Herbal Holistic Healing, and it came together, when it was time to almost publish it, I felt kind of afraid, honestly. Afraid that what comes next, there wasn't going to be something like this. You work on it, you put all your heart into it, and it's I'm never going to top it. Am I going to be, 80 years old talking about, when I was 29, when I was 30, I did this, and then never have anything else, really eventful or impactful come after that? And so, I was nervous. And, that thought just was kind of small, but it lingered. And I was like, I'll write another book. I'll probably do maybe just a recipe book with 150 pages in it. Or I want to probably write about women's reproductive health. And, that'll probably be about, 2 to 5 years. That was my thought. And there can still be redemption, even from when you think you can't top things, when you can't see bigger than what you have. There's always more. He always has more in store for you. He will always surprise you. So that's what I wanted to share. All right. I ran over. Part 2. Thank you for watching if you did. And I pray for all of you that all these videos are nourishment for your soul and really help you to get further to help people, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, right? So if I've been able to do that, you don't have to leave a comment or anything like that. I'm not fishing for comments or say, bye, or you don't have to just send any of those comments. We just know that, I love all of you. Thank you so much for this journey that we've taken together. If and when it does end, because I knew it wasn't forever. I knew that, everything there is a season. So I don't know if this is the end, then the end of our journey, then may you go down the straight path that is for you, that the Father handpicked for you, that you live with full of purpose and intention every single day of your life, every single breath that you take. May it be fruitful. All right. Bye.